Hi, I'm Tom Hignite, and this is another one of our guerrilla videos with terrible lighting, maybe not too good a sound, so just kind of bear with it. No scripts, no redos unless we run out of batteries, so let's not do that. This is our Lakethorne house. Regularly, this was one of our most popular models. We haven't built it as a model in a while, and this is an opportunity because we're reselling a home. This one is a few years old. We sold this out in the Oconomowoc, Wisconsin area, and the size of the home is normally about 1,560 square feet. This one was bumped up with a dinette bay, an expansion on the master bath, and a little bit bigger kids' bedrooms and kids' bathroom. So that makes it 1,800 total square feet, which is an ideal size for today for a lot of folks. So you're seeing it here with the French country exterior. It means it has chipped or the clipped off roofs. Normally it would be a little different roof that would be more of a gable, flat ends. So sir, this one. This one is vinyl, and it's certainly pretty plain today, but here it is vinyl, but there's a lot of trim work done. You can see, if you come a little closer, how we've done the false dormer up on the top of the roof, how we brought down the roof line for this little piece that comes down above these two windows, the two coach lights on each side. Just looks really neat. This is called a French country exterior. A lot of folks were doing that back 10 years ago, and this was our equivalent to that. You can see the little dormer over the window. Normally that's just straight. And come on, and this is a court entry, so that you're coming in this way. As in all of our videos, you're going to see a lot of options. You're going to have to ask our sales staff what's standard, what doesn't or doesn't come with it. You're just going to get the essence of the house here. So the court entry drive, which is sort of a side entry idea, and a little bump out here. You can see how the box out window, as it's called, has the small little 5-pound brackets below it. Now this house is, if I had to pick a number, about 9 years old, 8 years old, okay? And so it has a little wear and tear on it, but surprisingly not that much wear and tear on it. For example, one of the things that we do with our homes, this piece here, which we call brick molding, that's a technical term for it. We made this out of PVC plastic, and some of the other products here hold up very well with the vinyl coated garage door, and as I mentioned, the vinyl siding. And this is a wood product, but it's called a Real Trim, which Real Trim is a brand name, meaning that it is real wood, but it has some special preservatives put on it in the primer. So come up the concrete steps to this ranch. I always point that out to people, that ranches still have steps, usually coming in the front door. So fiberglass front entry door here that I'm going to step in. You kind of stay there for just a moment. I'll kick off my shoes just because it's what I do, and I'll come all the way in here. So come on in. We're doing this about noontime, so we have pretty good sun. Hopefully you're not being blinded out too much by these windows here. I know that that's kind of hard to look into, hence the guerrilla shooting, no special lighting. So let's do a four corners thing. You're in the great room. You're coming in the foyer, and the foyer has tile on the floor, and then you're in the carpeted great room. So you go in that corner. In the standard version of the home, it cuts off right here. So this is a wall and there's a window right here. And this is a very different home, the way that it's set up with a lot of angles. Here, why don't you step in that corner? And the angles really work for including things that normally wouldn't be in if this was just square rooms. Let's step over a couple of more steps right on that side of the fireplace. There you go. Very low usage of hallways in this home. I call it room-on-room design. But if you look over in this direction, you'll see we have a dining table that is set with a long bench here and 3 chairs, chair and chair. Very comfortable for 6-8 people. So 6, 3, 3, 2, 8. I'll do my math there. We do have let me hang out there for a moment. Let me turn on a light here that, we forgot these. So little alcove light here. Very neat how we did these little triangular alcoves. You notice on the top how we have some track lights. We have a spot to put things. We do have an electrical outlet up there, so if you wanted to put something that had some sort of an electrical feature to it. We have a hutch wall. Big one for always having a hutch wall. This isn't a tall hutch, but it's a short hutch. You can put in any size you want, but it's a nice long 6-foot long hutch wall. You also notice that you're seeing through the open wall here. This could be railings, but most people just picked it as a wood cap top wall, to a set of double windows. So you're able to see on the front of the house the double windows as you're sitting here in this dining room. If this was a square dining room, we'd be chewing up a whole lot more space than 1,560 square feet. I might have to correct myself. It's been a few years since I've looked at this house in detail, but it's under 1,600 square feet. So let's step over into that far corner. You're going to get blocked by these plants that are on the island. If you could go right over there, so you can get a little bit better view. This alcove here is kind of nice, the way that you can hang something in there. We use these textured prints so it picks up some of the light shadowing. Long table area. You see, if this was a square room, this would have to square off there, which would be into the stairwell. It would have to square off here, which would be into the kitchen and into the great room here. You can see how we're using great room space to be nebulous. That's a fancy term for being, it can go either way. This is sort of a, is this really part of the great room or is this part of the dining room? When you're able to use the space that's in both two rooms for benefiting both rooms, in my term that's a little nebulous. So you have this idea of overlapping spatial relations. So I'm using this space to walk through, but for the dining room, but I'm also using this space to enter into the great room. So if this great room was squared off, it would never work with this kind of space. So people who are designing a home that's less than 1,600 square feet are very surprised to see that you can fit a full-fledged dining or eating area in this sort of a thing. This is the tall ceiling, starts off 8 foot front and back, zooms up to about 12 feet in the middle. You can see the dramatic wall here that goes up here, how we have this great height going. Fireplace in the corner, box mantle, stone on the fireplace. The gas heating fireplace, could be a wood burning, and light over the top. A lot of times people ask, what do you do for curtain treatments? And this is usually just blinds like this. Little duet blinds. They hide away. You hardly even know that they're there. Double window here, single hung, so nice and easy to flip out. Not quite down to the floor. You can see how the furniture angling we're picking up. This could have been a full-size couch here if I would have wanted to block out some more of the window. So it could be a 3-couch great room. So if I ask you to step over there for a moment in that corner of the great room so you can get an idea of the size of the room. I've left, this is a full-size 7-foot long plus couch. There's space here for a walk-through. There's a spot here for a coffee table. If we made one of these a love seat, you could put a recliner here or a lazy boy type chair here. And here we've done just a single ottoman and chair, kind of picking up that angle of the fireplace. I might have mentioned that. And you don't really need a floor outlet in here, but you could. If you were going to push this all the way against that wall, you wouldn't have any tripping hazard. But right now, floor outlet under here, what we're doing nowadays is that would be done. We're also usually putting this all wood floor now. So take a look around. We're using a little bit of square corners over here. We're using round corners over here. So if you can get a little closer, you can see that. So the round is going into the vestibule area here. This, by the way, is what I would call the kids' hallway. And one of the reasons this house is so big, despite its square footage, is that this area on the floor, 4 feet by 4 feet, is the entire hallway of the house. So there's not much hallway in this house. There's a little one by the master. So we're using very little bit of room in the hallways, called room-on-room design. Each room goes right to the next, so you're not wasting the space. In the bathroom here, this grew about 1.5 feet, as did the bedrooms. This side of the house was pushed out compared to our regular home. Out here in this subdivision, 1,800 square feet was the minimum. You can see the colors have held up fairly well. We're using some of the nickel We're using some chrome. This is a standard Formica type countertop, laminate countertop. We're using the oil rub bronze kind of mixed in with it. On the door handles, we're using the 6-panel Riata pine doors. Where is the toilet in this room? I'm going to take and switch places with you so you can see where that is. It's right behind the door. So when you're always talking to people about you want to hide that toilet from your direct view, we're hiding that toilet. And we've done a nice little clip on that wall just to give you some nice space. We did a towel cabinet behind the door. So the towel cabinet there. Kohler fixtures. Over here, this is a potential linen closet for that bathroom if you wanted it to be. Here you have a couple of doors built into the wall, so we have a nice built-in idea. Cabinets are looking pretty good with today's style as well. These were Aristocraft cabinets at the time. So let's go to the front bedroom. So the front bedroom, you stay in that corner, I'll go in this corner. The front bedroom is, in this case, been pushed out a little bit, about that far, 1.5 feet. And so it's a little bit, it feels roomy to me. Let's change positions so you can kind of see where you were standing. I think one of the things that makes the rooms feel bigger is when you can do a door set in. So this one has a door set in, and we're able to utilize this extra space for a closet in the foyer instead of having the door sit on top of the wall. Rounded corners again. Closet over here, very traditional closet, nothing too unusual about it, about 4.5 feet of hanging. One of the things that is a little neat on this house is we were always doing, still do, 3-foot wide doors in most of the areas, if not all. I'd have to think about that a moment. Step over in that corner now if you would, so you can get an idea of 4 corners of the room. Always helps you see how big a room really feels. This is a box out windows. Remember the one I showed you on the outside? This is that one that was on the front of the house. The box out window. Normally this would be straight. We just have a window in the middle of the wall. So this gives you a nice little decorator spot. Spot here, we were raising the outlets even back then for the TV up off the floor so you could put a TV and not have to have the wires going down to the floor. Still do that today. Let's go across and look at the other bedroom. Follow, follow. So here you see a bedroom that's we've decorated out a little bit. We're using a lot of this furniture as we just go from house to house to house. This is sort of our standard stuff. Easily both of these rooms would take a queen size bed. You can see the space here is very sufficient for that. And by the way, if you're wondering what this wall means, if you get and see this whole wall here, and this is, anybody seen The Wizard of Oz, you know, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So, all right. So, look, put you in this corner over here. And there you have this side of the room. A little bit of plant going on here, a little bit of that wild jungle look. And then lastly, we'll put you over by the tall giraffes so you can get an idea. I want to say, if I had to take a guess, this room is really hard to size out because where do you measure from? Do you measure from here to where you are? Do you measure from here or do you measure from here? So this room is progressively larger. When we had this home decorated as a model, I remember we had a big stuffed chair here. It really makes the room much more interesting, I think. Again, with the door set back so it goes into the wall. Wow! I never saw that. This door must have been open all this time. Previous owner loved Hawaii, and there we have something that could have been sold in a, they had a liquidation here. The owner had met his demise in a car accident, but I digress, don't I? Again, with the 4.5 foot long, actually I will take that as a 5 foot long. I will amend my previous statement. These are both 5 feet long because you have about 1.5 feet there and about 1.5 feet here, and a 3 foot door, so it's a minimum of 5. Closer to 6, isn't that, if I do my math? So come on over this way, and let's look in the kitchen area. We've looked at dining room, we've looked at great room. Let's go to kitchen. And why don't you stand right about there so you can get an idea of what we've got laid out. We've done a refrigerator. You want to come over this way a little bit. We've done a kitchen area with the refrigerator here set in. This was set back a little bit, but not nearly as far back as some, so it's out forward. Nice placement here for cabinets. balanced out, pretty long counter. This is Corian in this house, by the way. And good wide drawers and pretty standardized layout here with the cookie tray dividers over here, which actually had a tray or two in it. Dishwasher to the side of the kitchen sink so you can load and unload easy. And then silverware drawer, a whole bank of drawers if you come over and take a peek on this side over here, so you could set your table nice and easy or set this table here easy. You notice we've put panels on the side of the cabinets to really dress those out, whether you're looking up here or down here. This is actually a cabinet that faces the great room. We have a laminate floor under here, as long as we're looking down. But this island's a little different. This is a reverse island. Reverse island, this chair is way too tall for this. We brought in furniture from our warehouse. This should have been a 24-inch tall. Let me turn this down just a tad. There we go. Should have been 24 inches tall. This is 29 inches tall. It still works, but it's more of a bar stool height. So this is reverse, so that if I'm sitting here in the kitchen, I can put another person here and another person there. It's a 3-person island, but it's reverse island. And get behind my back if you would, and look, do an over the shoulder shot as we call that, and see once how you're able to the TV. You can get my shoulder, step back a bit, and this is my view if I'm looking into the great room, if you're having a party or something. Notice how friendly this is to that sort of thing. And I'll put the plant back where it was previously. And you can see the overhang of the cabinets there. There's still sufficient space to pass through here. We also have a double-sided cabinet right here. So looking into the dinette, and a double-sided cabinet right here. In today's contemporary layouts, they may take this all off and just leave this cabinet here and do a hanging pendant here and a hanging pendant maybe here. There's so much seating in this room. I started counting it the other day. If we do 8 at the table like I showed you before, and if we did 3 couches, but let's just count what we actually have. 8 at the table, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and let's count 2 here, even though we have 3, 16, 17, okay? Let's put 3 stools here, benches, even though they'll handle more, 18, 19, 20, okay? And we can put one more at the end if we wanted to count 21, and we could put one more there if we wanted to count 22, but let's just keep it at 20 so we keep it nice and loose. And then let's take a look at the dinette table, 5. So in our great room, we're seating 25 in an 1,800 square foot home. Does that sound a little unusual? Because it is. So I'm going to go in this corner. A lot of glass coming around you here. Very traditional house in many ways, just done with a little contemporary flair. So you have the windows this way. I'm going to stand you in that corner if I could, and then we'll reverse this whole thing. So there you have the reverse view, and then let's go over there. So get you all corners. You getting dizzy yet? Go under here. And there's that double-sided cabinet here and here. And then you have the yard itself, which has a stick in the bottom. And who doesn't nowadays? All right. There we go. Welcome to the backyard. This is the oh, better stay away there. I see a little honeycomb starting with some bees. So let's take a look at the house, because we're not really selling the backyard. Be careful, there is a hive over there. You can see the back of the house, the shape of it, how we're coming off with the dinette bay. We kind of come off square. We're not following it on an angle. That way, if you open up that window, you get a little bit of protection from the rain. And if you look over here, you'll see a window down below, because this is actually a half exposure type situation with the basement. So come on back in. And I will lock this up. We still use these windows and doors. I had the same ones in my own house We use a lot of Anderson, a lot of Pella. These happen to be the #1 rated in most reports. Symington brand windows and doors, same ones I have in my own house, as I mentioned twice here. So we've done the bedrooms, we've done the great room, we've done the dinette, done the kitchen. We haven't done the spider yet, have we? Oh, anyway, back over here, this is the other little hallway I was talking about. We haven't done the master bedroom or the laundry. This is the pantry. If there's one thing that this house I would redesign on in today's world, although not everybody wants one of these, but most people do, I would put in a bigger walk-in pantry. But the pantry here is fairly sufficient in size, not a bad size at all really. And there is great access because as you're coming in from the garage, you're able to go right to the kitchen with your groceries. You're able to put stuff away in the pantry. You're able to put stuff away in the refrigerator, nice and close by to that island. You're also able to go straight in and see the master bedroom. A lot of times in the homes nowadays, they're trying to hide the master bedroom by certain methods. You don't want to see in the master bedroom from the great room. So they might put a little wall or something that's dividing it. The angles in this house provide that idea. So if you go over there and look where you're walking in from the front foyer, and you're going to see into, this is actually the interior of the master bedroom I'm in right now. But you're not seeing the bed, you're not seeing any furniture. What you're seeing is open doors, but you're not seeing anything else. So it's designed so that these doors, even when they're open, you're not going to see anything in the master bedroom. Also, if I'm keeping the door open in the laundry room, did you see how you're not seeing anything in the laundry room either? You're not seeing the washer or the dryer. Stand back in the kitchen a little bit. You'll see that there you are. You're really seeing nothing. You're looking by things. So come on over here again. And this is the alcove I was pointing to before. Drywall alcove. We have knocked down drywall here. A little bit of accent color painting. You can put anything you want in these art alcoves. So come on in the laundry room. We'll take a look at this. Some cabinets over here, very simple. So, oh, there's where that electric drill ended up of my compadres who's out here when we were putting this house together. So we've got washer dryer over here, some hanging out in the open, very simple. There's no real formal closet back here. This is one big closet. And if I show you the laundry room, oh, this was one thing we did years ago. We haven't done these in a while. This is a fire extinguisher box. We used to have these custom built for us. And there'd be one close by to the kitchen in the garage. In the garage, because you have a court entry, it ends up being a little longer because we have a porch. If this was just a 2-car front entry, which would have been standard in this house, you wouldn't have had to go quite this deep. But here, because we're trying to dodge a porch as we come in that's hanging off the front of the house, we have to push the garage out. I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, look at a floor plan. So we've got the false window up there. It was on the front of the garage. Tall ceiling here. Let's not spend too much time in the garage. I think we've seen enough of that, right? 21 foot, 4 inches deep. I measured it for a gentleman that was looking to buy the home. And so as you're coming in, you come into the master. You can stay by the door there for a moment, and I'll come way over here. We didn't put any dressers or anything in here. We're staging it. This is all the stuff out of our warehouse. You can see how this stages out so nicely with just a few pieces of furniture. You can imagine where the other things would be. So why don't you come on in. Let's stand in that corner over there. And I'll kind of go this way. There we are. And we'll do one more time. We'll come over here by the windows. You notice how we have a double window and a single window here. So you get a nice view. I'm always concerned when I'm doing a design of how the view looks from the bed. And you might have heard me say that on other videos if you've watched them. So what I'd like you to do is put the camera person can kind of sit where the headboard would be, and you can see what the view would be from the bed. And I don't just mean in the room, because here of course would be a TV and whatnot, but the view out the windows. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of bright out, I know, and sometimes it'll blur you out. But there's a nice big backyard there. There is a road going through here, but you're not seeing it from the bed. I think it sets up real well that way. Privacy's sake, nobody's seeing you, but you're seeing view into this great lot that they have. So, all right, we'll get you up off the bed. The bed wall will easily handle a king size. It's set up right now with a queen, but you can see how much room there is here for a side table. A king's a foot wider than a queen. So, and there's a lot of room over there, a lot of room here for your 6-foot dresser. We've created a lot of space for chairs and things like that. So here you walk into the room through there, and you have a walk-in closet. So let's take a look at the walk-in closet. 3-foot door again. I'll go way down here. Quite generous. I'm going to just estimate that you have about 8 feet of hanging here and about 10 feet over here. A little longer on this side. And if we go around to the bathroom normally didn't have a tub and a shower. Of course, in today's world, having tubs and showers are not all that exciting anymore. Everybody in masters are just doing showers, very large ones. But this one has the double sinks, 2 sinks, nice big bank of drawers here, and toilet area out in the open, elongated, raised toilet height, 6-foot Whirlpool tub, and you can see the window over the top is set up real nice so you can pull up or down the top or bottom of the duet blinds. And I'll trade places with you if you want to stand over by the toilet. You can see that there's a kind of an off-color curtain here. I'm sure he had a lot of blues in here before, but now there's no blues. So, but this is a 5-foot shower stall. So it's still a decent sized stall. Back in these days, everybody was doing 4 feet. And it has a molded in tile look, so it's nice and easy to clean. Behind the door there's a little treat that's kind of hiding. Some people have missed this. A linen cabinet with a drawer, no less. How about that? So you have a nice spot here in this bathroom for everything. The handle's on the door because, and they still make that one today. That's a Schlag handle. So let's come back through. We'll take another peek here, and we'll go through quickly to the basement and try to wrap this thing up. We didn't show you all the exterior sides, so we've showed you enough, I think. A little bit on the back, a little bit on the front. If you come around to the foyer, by the way, while we're up here, if you could step 3 steps back there, let's reverse course. We never really showed you the foyer. We walked right past it, went to the great room. So these are 1-foot tiles, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet long on this, and 1, 2, 3, 4.5 here, and 5 feet here widens out. So we're kind of, when we come in, we have a nice generous closet, which is, gosh, 4.5 feet long. I've been estimating my closets today. And as you come in, if you stand here again, I'll just open this up so the camera person can get a little bit further into the door. Because look at what you're seeing when you look up in here. You're seeing a plant shelf. You're kind of seeing this cutout opening, and you can see this opening. You don't have to walk anywhere, but you can see how this is kind of a cutout. We call it a square arch. So we've got this archway you're going through, but you're first coming into sort of a higher height over your head. And if I walk down the stairs a little bit, you'll see on the left how there's a great, that window you saw before has this great long shelf on it. You could put some plants here if you wanted to tend to them and water them. And as you come down, this is a 4-foot wide stairs, which is kind of nice. And this gentleman put a lock. We didn't do this, but he put a deadbolt lock on this door, which is a good idea, because if you're going to have a basement where somebody could potentially, an exposure with a lot of windows, somebody could get in here. This is a big basement. And I'm not going to go through all the detail, but we always do set ourselves up. Here's bathroom detail, for example. Stay right there. Spot for your tub or shower. Spot for your toilet. Cut into here, put your sink. You put your door, little hallway right here. And we always pretend like we're going to do a basement for finish out, even if we're not going to finish it out. So here we do an angle. We do one of those corner things like you saw upstairs, little triangular alcoves. You're never going to see this. It's right here. We have this angle wall. We have a doorway that then goes into here. We have a bar. We have a theater area. We have a bedroom. All these things planned out. All of the mechanicals have been kept up in such ways that they are away from your headroom usage, so that everything is set up as though we were going to finish this out. So the next person who comes in here can finish it out in a pretty easy method.